Howdy y'all, Jackson here with IckJerk Studios, and I'm back with another edition of the Chicago College All-Star Game, this one for the 2011 season. For those of you that don't know, the Chicago College All-Star Game was an NFL preseason game that lasted from 1934 to 1976 that pitted the reigning NFL champion against a team comprised of the incoming rookie class, but it was eventually canceled due to increased injury concerns as well as cost. This edition matches up Aaron Rodgers' Green Bay Packers against a college all-star team comprised with the likes of Cam Newton, Von Miller, and A.J. Green. After a quick defensive stop, the Packers offense comes out firing as Aaron Rodgers hits an open Donald Driver on the sideline to get past midfield. He'd then turn around and hand the ball off to Ryan Grant, who'd powered forward for an 8-yard gain. Rodgers would then find Greg Jennings over the middle for the first. He'd then look over the middle again, this time connecting with Driver, to get up near the first and into the red zone. Grant would then get the ball on a handoff and grid across the line for a first. With the new set of downs, Rodgers would fake the handoff to Grant and look to the back of the end zone, but Patrick Peterson with a well-timed jump would pick off the ball. Newton and the All-Stars offense look to get things moving, as one Heisman hands off to another, as Mark Ingram gets outside and hustles himself down all the way to the Packers' 24. The Packers' defense would tighten up though, forcing this field goal. After some punts back and forth, the Packers look to capitalize after a good return, as Rodgers finds Brandon Jackson over the middle to get across midfield. The All-Star defense would clamp down though, forcing this field goal attempt, which Mason Crosby would push wide left. With that miss, we head into halftime, with the All-Stars leading 3-0. After a defensive stand, the All-Stars look to extend their lead, as Newton looks and finds Doug Baldwin deep to get into the Packer red zone. He'd then find himself looking for an open receiver, but would find none, forcing him to scramble up the middle, where he'd pick up 9. Ingram would then power through the line to pick up the first. Now faced with the 3rd and goal, Newton again looks for an open receiver, but cannot find any, and is forced to scramble again, this time for a touchdown. Heading into the 4th, the Packers are looking to get something going, as Grant would give them some life as he rumbles forward for a first down. And they'd go right back at it with him, and he'd rumble forward for another 8 yards. Rodgers would then look deep, finding and throwing a dart to a wide-open Jermichael Finley on the sideline. Unfortunately, the All-Star defense would clamp down again, and Crosby would wind up missing again, this time hitting the left crossbar. The All-Stars are now looking for the dagger, as Newton finds A.J. Green over the middle. He'd then hit Julio Jones over the middle for the first. Newton would then go right back at him, hitting him on a streak as he beat his man, and he'd stroll into the end zone for 6. The Packers are now playing for pride and to avoid the shutout, as Rodgers looks and finds Jennings deep to get across midfield. 2 plays later, he'd find Driver over the middle to move the chains. Then after a couple of incompletions, Rodgers looks deep and to the end zone on 3rd down, finding an open Jordy Nelson at the back of the end zone to avoid the shutout. Crosby would at least get the extra point through though, as the College All-Stars pull the rare upset, 17-7. Thank you all for watching this edition of the Chicago College All-Star Game. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like. If you did not, feel free to leave a dislike. And if you have not already, please subscribe, as it really helps me out. Thank you again for watching,